Hello, I'm Scott Turner.
And I'm Barry Pinchot.
When you next take a walk outdoors, we have a simple assignment for you. Take a good, slow look around you. The odds are you'll see an environment that's full of life. Here in the savannas of northern Namibia, you can see abundant trees, bushes, grasses, insects, some large animals, birds on the ground and in the air, and even pond life.
In fact, you can see living things in almost every conceivable habitat you care to go to on Earth. Although it might not be immediately obvious, there is abundant life even here on the seemingly empty gravel plains of the Namib Desert.
You may have to look hard for it. Down here at your feet, for example, you can see abundant lichens and even little masses of bacteria and fungi that hold the sandy soil together. But sometimes you don't have to look so hard. Here in the rather bleak Messam crater, just at the edge of the coastal Namibian fog desert, there are these incredible organisms, the giant Welwitschia, colossal plants whose family tree traces right back to the origins of the flowering plants.
In short, you can find life on Earth wherever you choose to look.
But here are some questions for you. We can see life everywhere, all right, but how do we know how difficult or easy life is for creatures that live in these various habitats?
How do we know how hot it gets for them? How cold? How do we know how much energy it takes them to get through their typical day? How do we avoid asking anthropocentric questions about them, considering that they evolved here and may not be at all uncomfortable?
The answers are not immediate or obvious. The feeling that we have out here is that it's hot and dry. We spend a great deal of time and energy to keep hydrated and fed and to feel comfortable. But do those organisms that normally live here feel this environment like we do? Probably not, but how can we say such a thing?
In this course, we're going to try to equip you to find answers to some of these questions yourself.
We're going to take the approach that animals and plants are living systems that interact in fundamental and subtle ways with their physical environments. You might think that this seems to be a fairly narrow way to approach the problem of life, and that living systems do lots more interesting things. It's a fair statement, really, but we can actually learn an awful lot from approaching life in that simple way. And here's why.
A living thing is, in a very profound sense, a physical system that to survive has to do physical work on its surroundings. It has to gather energy and food. It has to keep everything cooking along just at the right temperature. And it has to make sure that there's enough water for these processes to go on unabated. Looked at in this way, the physical dimension of life is fundamental to all the other interesting things that plants and animals do.
So, if you're a biologist interested in understanding how organisms live in their physical environments, you should take this course. No matter whether you're an undergraduate, a graduate student, or a practicing scientist in biology, ecology, or evolution, you will probably find something in what follows that will enrich and inform how you think about life, adaptation, and the environment.
So, let's get started.